Alcaraz, I feel at home, the title defense has begun. The Mercian tennis player defeated Frenchman Quentin Elise 6-4, 6-2. Carlos Alcaraz stated that he feels at home in Indian Wells, where he kicked off the defense of his double crown with a solid 6-4, 6-2 victory over Frenchman Quentin Elise. Alcaraz's words: "It wasn't an easy match, it wasn't easy to control the emotions, to control the nerves. I was nervous at the beginning, I knew I had to stay focused, stay calm, control the excitement, and play good tennis," said Alcaraz on court after his 67-minute win over Elise. "Then the nerves went away and I did pretty well. The title defense has begun," added the Mercian, currently ranked number 3 in the world. Carlos Alcaraz will face Canadian Denis Shapovalov in the third round of the tournament, a match that promises high emotions. The young Mercian, now the highest-ranked player still in the competition after the surprising elimination of German Alexander Zverev by Dutchman Talon Griekspoor, comes in with high morale and a strong desire to keep progressing. Alcaraz has shown that he feels comfortable and confident in this tournament, something he has openly acknowledged. "I feel at home here, it's important for me to play good tennis. The conditions are great, I love playing here. The fans have been very good to me and that support helps me," he said after his latest match. His connection with the crowd and his adaptation to the tournament conditions have been key to his performance so far. This sense of familiarity and confidence could make the difference in the upcoming rounds. Despite his good form, the Spanish tennis player is not losing sight of areas for improvement. Alcaraz admitted that he still has small things to polish ahead of his next match. "There are always details one can work on. In these tournaments, every match is demanding and you can't let your guard down. I'm happy with my game, but I know I can give more," he commented. Still, he emphasized that he maintains high confidence, a key element in his aggressive and dynamic playing style. The match against Shapovalov shapes up to be an interesting challenge. The Canadian is a talented player, with unpredictable and explosive tennis. However, Alcaraz comes in with solidity, focus, and the support of the crowd, factors that could tilt the balance in his favor. With determination and the desire to keep growing, Carlos looks to further establish himself as one of the big names on the circuit. Shock at Indian Wells as Carlos Alcaraz stands alone. Botic van de Zandschulp has delivered the upset of the year after defeating Novak Djokovic in the second round of Indian Wells, a result that benefits Carlos Alcaraz, who was expected to face the Serbian in the quarterfinals and now finds himself with a much clearer path ahead. Tennis has made a grand return this week with the Masters 1000 of Indian Wells, often called the 5th Grand Slam, and so far it's living up to expectations with some very surprising results. Top contenders on the circuit have struggled in these early days in the Coachella Valley, and after the completion of all second-round matches, 4 of the top 10 seeds are already out. But no defeat has been as shocking as that of Novak Djokovic, who fell victim to the tournament's biggest upset, losing to Botic van de Zandschulp. Noel came off a loss in Doha against Matteo Berrettini, showing signs of inconsistency in what was his return to competition after the Australian Open, where he reached the semi-finals but had to withdraw due to a muscle tear. In California, expectations were high as he aimed to reclaim the title on a court where he has won 5 times, though the last was back in 2016. This edition saw him debut against the Dutchman, a lucky loser who entered the draw by chance and, after defeating Nick Kyrgios in his opener, pulled off the shocker against the 24-time Grand Slam winner. Djokovic completely out of sorts. Van de Zandschulp is a very dangerous player who rises to the occasion against the big names, with impressive wins under his belt over Carlos Alcaraz and Rafa Nadal, among others. Against the Serbian, he played a very solid match, catching his rival off guard. In the first set, he came out like a whirlwind and gave Djokovic no chance, dominating with a convincing 6-2 by taking advantage of the Serbian's 14 unforced errors. Djokovic, who turns 38 in May, managed only 4 winners in the first set and looked very flat, although he managed to react in the second. He broke serve immediately and leveled the match with a 6-3 set. At that point, he seemed the favorite for the third set, but that was an illusion, as he quickly faltered again. Van de Zandschulp returned to his top level, showing great composure and staying sharp despite Djokovic's more varied and accurate play. But once he saw his opportunity, Botic seized it. He converted his second break point in the 4th game to go up 3-1 and broke again in the 5th game to close it out with a brutal 6-1. A depleted draw has marked recent days in Indian Wells, with several of the tournament's top figures suffering surprise exits. Djokovic's defeat, as one of the tournament favorites, has shaken up the competitive outlook. Adding to this was the elimination of Russian Andrei Rublev by rising Italian Matteo Arnaldi, who showed no fear against the big names. All of this followed Friday's double surprise, the eliminations of top seed Alexander Zverev and 4th seed Casper Ruud. These upsets have significantly opened up the draw, and now all eyes are on Carlos Alcaraz. The Mercian, who was expected to face Djokovic in a hypothetical quarterfinal, now finds himself with a much clearer path to his goal, winning his 3rd consecutive Indian Wells title. Carlos Alcaraz spoke at a press conference after his victorious debut in Indian Wells, where he openly discussed one of his biggest goals, reclaiming the world #1 ranking. That spot is currently held by Italian Jannik Sinner, who remains there despite being suspended over a doping case that has caused controversy within the circuit. Despite the situation, the Mercian prefers to focus on his own journey, steering clear of external distractions or controversy. After firmly defeating Frenchman Quentin Elise in his tournament opener, Alcaraz highlighted how he managed the nerves of the debut and expressed confidence in his progress. "If I do the right things in every tournament, the #1 will come on its own. It's not something I'm obsessed with, but yes, it's there on the horizon," he explained. He also added that his focus remains on improving day by day, maintaining consistency, and competing at the highest level. The young Spaniard showed maturity when discussing the topic, making it clear that the ranking is a result of constant hard work. "I want to be the best, but that comes with effort, not just words," he concluded with conviction, showing both his ambition and winning mentality. Djokovic compares the world tennis gem to Alcaraz, the level of balance. The Serbian has praised João Fonseca and compared his characteristics to the game of Carlos Alcaraz. For Noel, the Brazilian and the Spaniard share a similar professionalism and devotion. João Fonseca is becoming one of the biggest sensations in tennis at the start of 2025. He made himself known to the general public at the Australian Open when he defeated Andrei Rublev in the first round at just 18 years of age. At the Masters 1000 in Indian Wells, Novak Djokovic praised the high level of the Brazilian prospect. "Without a doubt, he has the potential to truly become a superstar of this game." The Serbian revealed that he doesn't personally know the 18-year-old player. However, he dared to compare him with one of the best young tennis players on the circuit, Carlos Alcaraz. "From what I've seen on court, it seems there's a very good level of balance and professionalism and devotion, like what we've seen over the last 2 years with Alcaraz," he said at an event held in Miami. In recent months, the Rio de Janeiro native has been receiving praise from top figures like Alexander Zverev, Stefanos Tsitsipas, and Alcaraz himself, generating high expectations in the tennis world. These endorsements from some of the biggest names in the sport have helped elevate João Fonseca's status from promising junior to a potential future star. His composure on court, maturity beyond his years, and aggressive style of play have impressed fans and analysts alike. The fact that he's already holding his own against top 10 players at just 18 speaks volumes about his talent and mental strength. "It feels great when you're that young and playing at a high level. There's not much to lose, a lot to gain. The attention from people, the support, it all builds up and contributes to great development of both the player and the personality," commented Noel. Djokovic's words reflect the reality many young athletes face. When pressure is replaced by opportunity, growth becomes inevitable. The crowd support, media buzz, and encouragement from established stars can create a unique momentum that propels a young player forward. For Fonseca, this moment may be the foundation of a long and successful career on the ATP Tour, and the tennis world is watching closely.